Okay guys, we're starting off lesson 6.7 here with an example about like a store loyalty plan where they have two different plans for earning points for shopping at their stores. And one plan has 10 points today, and then every day after that you get double as many as the day before. So you'd start with 10, and the next day you get 20, 40, 80, 160, and so on, because you are doubling, starting with 10. The other plan, Plan B, has you only starting out with 1 point, but it's tripling as you go. So the next day you would have 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 27, 81, and so on. So they want us to do a couple things here. In part A, they want an expression for the number of points received each day for that first plan, Plan A. So if we think back to our lesson from exponential growth, we had that A times B to the X formula. And that's what we're going to go with here, but we're going to change it up just a little bit. We're going to say that the number of points that you get, the A is still going to be what you begin with. So your start value is 10 times. Since it's doubling, the growth factor will be 2 because we're multiplying by 2 every time. But in the exponent, instead of just putting an x, we're actually going to put an x minus 1 because the points don't really start doubling until the second day, right? So if we think about this, on day 1, we would have 1 minus 1 in the exponent, which is 0. 2 to the 0 is just 1. And 1 times 10 is 10. So that's how many you would have on day 1, right? On day 2, which we know we would have 20 points, I think a 2 would make sense up here for our exponent. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 to the first power is 2. So you're going to take 10 times 2 to get 20. So that exponent of x minus 1, I hope it makes sense to you, because you multiply by that number 2 one less time than whatever day that you're on. So on day 1, you don't multiply by 2 at all. On day 2, you multiply by 2 once. On day 3, you multiply by 2 twice. So that's where the x minus 1 comes from in this section, right? For the second plan, we begin with 1 point, so that's going to be our A. And instead of the growth factor being a 2, it's going to be a 3, because we're tripling, times 3, times 3, times 3. So your B is 3. And once again, your exponent will be x minus 1. To get to day 5, for example, you would multiply by 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So whatever day that you're on, you would multiply by 1 less than that number. Multiply by 3, 4 times for day 5. So the question is, which plan would offer the most bonus points on day 7? So will that red plan, Plan B, catch up by the time that you get to the 7th day? Well, we have 5 days planned out here. Let's keep doubling here. We would get 320 points for day 6. And double that, we're going to get 640 points for day 7, according to Plan A. With Plan B, if we keep tripling, we're going to get 243 on day 6, and 729 on day 7. So while the black plan is doubling, the red plan is tripling. So it starts lower, but since we have exponential growth, it's going to eventually catch up and get past the Plan A. Okay? So this is our introduction to geometric sequences and series, and it's very closely related to exponential growth, which we just talked about. And we'll see a little bit more about geometric sequences in the next video that I need you to watch.